In 1893, a 12-year-old boy from Germany lost both his parents. His inheritance was stolen. His future was dark. But he held on to one thing nobody could take from him: his obsession with watches. That obsession built the most legendary watch brand in history. This is the story of Rolex. After losing his parents, Hans Wilsdorf was sent to boarding school where he learned about Switzerland's watchmaking industry. Something clicked inside him immediately. At 19, he moved to Switzerland and found a job checking the accuracy of hundreds of watches every single day. That role turned a passion into a lifelong purpose. In 1903, he moved to London. On the journey, his entire inheritance was stolen. Everything gone. Again. He kept moving anyway. In London, he studied manufacturing, sales, and consumer behavior from the inside, and he noticed something important that nobody else was acting on. Customers wanted simple, accurate, and elegant watches, but every company was obsessing over fancy decorative designs that customers never actually wanted. Hans saw the gap. At 24, he decided to fill it himself. In 1905, he launched Wilsdorf and Davis with his brother-in-law as a partner. Their first product was a compact premium pocket watch built for travelers. It was an immediate hit, but Hans was already thinking bigger. He predicted wristwatches would completely replace pocket watches. The problem was that in 1906, most men refused to wear them, considering them feminine. So Hans launched gold and silver wristwatches with metal straps that looked exactly like bracelets. He did not call them wristwatches. He called them bracelet watches. The strategy worked immediately. He then created a brand name. Short, memorable, and easy to pronounce in any language across the world. After testing over 100 combinations, one name stood above everything else: Rolex, trademarked in 1908. By 1914, he had 60 employees and offices across Europe. Business was growing fast. Then World War I hit. Britain imposed a 33% export tax overnight. Sales collapsed completely. Hans moved the entire company to Switzerland and rebuilt from scratch. Even during the war, he spotted an opportunity. Soldiers needed wristwatches on the battlefield. Pocket watches were completely impractical in combat. A soldier would need to lower his rifle and dig through his coat just to check the time. Hans launched the Rolex trench watch. Built with unbreakable glass and luminescent hands for reading time in total darkness. Soldiers wore them. The world noticed. Wristwatches went mainstream exactly as Hans had predicted. But wristwatches had one critical flaw. Dust and water got inside and destroyed accuracy completely. In 1926, Hans launched the Rolex Oyster, the world's first waterproof watch. A revolutionary screw-on mechanism sealed every component tightly together. Rubber rings closed remaining gaps. The crown locked the body shut like a submarine hatch. To market it, he hired swimmer Mercedes Gleitze as Rolex's first brand ambassador. She wore the Oyster around her neck, attempting to cross the English Channel. 10 hours in open water. The watch worked perfectly. Hans displayed the Oyster inside fish tanks filled with real fish in every retail store. The world was stunned. But Hans was still not satisfied. Every watch had to be manually wound every 2 days. Hans spent years solving this and invented the perpetual rotor, a semicircular piece rotating 360 degrees inside the watch, automatically winding itself through the natural movement of your hand. You never had to wind it. Ever. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual, the world's first truly automatic watch. In 1945 came the Datejust, the world's first automatic watch displaying the date. Hans added a magnifying lens over the date window after noticing how a water droplet magnified text on his watch face. Then the Explorer in 1953, built for mountaineers. The GMT Master in 1955, built for pilots crossing time zones. And in 1960, the Deep Sea Special, tested at 11,000 meters below the ocean surface. It worked perfectly. from the peak of Everest to the deepest point in the ocean. One watch, performed without fail. Rolex. Hans Wilsdorf passed away in 1960 at 79. He lost his parents at 12, lost his inheritance twice, survived 2 world wars, rebuilt everything from nothing more than once, and, through all of it, he created the most iconic watch brand the world has ever seen. He did not just make watches, he made history, one obsession at a time. If this inspired you, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next one.